Hey there, bestie. I'm Lori Amy, your What to Read Next podcast host. Join me as we dive into exciting new reads that'll have you reaching for your TBR pile in no time. From group and mysteries to spicy romances, we'll explore it all and help you find your next favorite book. So grab a cup of tea, cozy it up, and let's discover some amazing reads together.
Hello and welcome to the What the Next podcast. I'm so happy to have you all back. And tonight's guest is Francesca from Under the Covers Book Club. And she is here to talk about another service that we're going on the budget, so which is a very exciting thing. So Francesca, tell us a little bit what you've been up to.
I am so happy to be back with everybody, and thank you for bringing me back, Laura. And I'm always looking for recommending ways that people can read more. I've been using this one that we're going to be talking about today for quite some time, mainly for audiobooks. I mean, I'm a big audiobook listener, so yeah, I feel like that's what I've been up to, especially this year when it comes to reading. I've been mostly reading audiobooks, and when I am reading ebooks, I am having the text to speech read back to me. So that's been my I'm in that era. It's
Maybe
simple.
this is a short, maybe this is a reel that you just create, and we'll share in our respective newsletters. Talk to us about the Under the Covers community and what can readers expect and we want to join.
Yes, we just migrated our community to Substack, which I'm very excited about because we're going to be able to deliver more content. There's lots of exciting things that are coming down the line, but we are expanding a little bit more from recommendations that we would normally do on the blog. So either we are sharing in the community the books that didn't make a list that are already on the blog, or very niche kind of requests from some of our members. So we're definitely doing some of that there. And also getting a little bit more personal, sharing some of the things that we love at the moment, maybe some food, maybe some other things. So yeah, a little bit of planning too. There's probably going to be some planning content in there as well. So I'm very excited about that. And we're always open for suggestions from people.
Yes. And every Tuesday you share new releases, which is
Yes.
the week, so which is a lot of work, and I commend you. And I don't do that work. So they need to check out your podcast and you check out community so that they know what they can actually read.
Yeah. On the podcast, on the Reading Under the Covers podcast, I kind of try to pick maybe 5 books every week that either we recommend at Under the Covers and we've already read, or the ones that are really they catch my eye. But inside of the community, we do actually keep a full release calendar. So that's a labor of love.
And you're looking for recommendations, not just romance. I know you're in the romance space, but we do recommend other genres. It's a great place to go. Also, the blog is a great resource for 11, almost 12 years full of recommendations and reviews. And so if you're looking for a book review, actually your site is the perfect site for it.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of reviews. It's not just you have guest reviewers to talk about it, but you have 11+ years of content.
I think there's over 6,000 reviews right now. Yeah. So there's a lot.
So if you're looking for something to read now, say you go to Under the Covers to be okay, what exactly they're saying? Because I'm a recommender. I would tell here's the highlights, here's where you should go line, you should go this, whatever the place. But the thorough review is someone who has read it and can actually understand what's going on. That's your area of expertise.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about, it used to be Scribd, now it's Everand. It's a site you pay a flat fee, you pay annual subscription, and you can pay a monthly fee. It's a rate, if you refer others, you get an extra month. So it's a limited rate to get free reading if you refer to your friends. Talk to us about when did you get started? What are some of what can expect readers from taking on the service?
Yeah, so I probably started using Scribd at the time it was still called Scribd. I want to say at least maybe it was 2020. I think it was around 2020, time of the pandemic. I was listening to, I've always been a big audiobook listener, but probably late 2010s, I was listening a little bit less because I was getting more arcs and, reading ebooks a little bit more, but definitely started getting more on audiobooks. And I discovered Scribd, and I really like the fact that it was a flat fee. I kind of saw it as Kindle Unlimited, but for audiobooks, it is what I mostly use it for. is for the audiobooks. And I guess we can get a little bit more into why I don't really like reading ebooks on it later. But for audiobooks, I really do enjoy it. And I think that has to do with me doing the text to speech. So I will put a caveat for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was 2010. I've really enjoyed it. I've kept up with my subscription the whole time because I do get value from it. I do listen to enough audiobooks on it. And there are some pros and cons. I think people can expect that. There are some limitations on what kind of books you can check out or, borrow. I guess I call them borrow because you're just kind of like listening to it and taking it off of your list or whatever. But there are some limitations and I haven't really figured out what's the magical key of how that works. But for example, if you want to like binge a whole series, maybe you won't be able to do that like back to back because it's going to stop you somewhere and it's going to tell you, okay, the next audiobook or the next book is going to be available after however many days. So for me, that's not a con because I don't binge anymore. So that's totally fine for me. And even if there's a book that it may have to do with publishers, because I've also found it where there's a book that I haven't read anything by the author and it will tell me that you have to wait 28 days or something.
Yeah.
So as long as you're okay with waiting, and I see it as kind of like waiting for the borrow list at the library.
Yeah.
So if you're going into it with that mindset, you'll have a good experience.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've actually read Scribd. I had it in a subscription. I paid $100 for it. So it's a good monthly money. It's not expensive. I think the subscription went up to, I don't know how much is a month. I think it's like $12 to $13 a month. But if you get in a subscription, you save some money per month.
Yeah.
So, and I've had a couple of months, like people use my referral, which was great. But I'm probably not using it enough to justify books because I'm one of those people who likes to binge and like have options. And I mean, when I'm like, you have to wait till the next billing period. You have to wait till the calendar to do that. So it's next month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I found it sometimes it's based on publishers. If I read too many books on the same publisher, the license gets limited, or I'm binging the same book, same author, multiple books in the series, the license gets limited. So it is not unlimited, even though they sell as unlimited. It's not the unlimited like Kindle Unlimited, where you're just like, oh, let's do anything anytime. There's some limitations, kind of like the library. Like you have to wait times for the library.
Yeah.
It's living. It's not Hoopla.
Yeah.
You have to wait times for the library, and you just have to plan it. If you're looking for rarity, this is a good place to go. For me, it's my last resource if I need it. If I need the audiobook, maybe I'll go to Scribd, or Everand, but I'll download the audiobook because I'm just able to just stop listening in the middle of it. So you have to download the book. So then it doesn't tell you like, hey, you miss out your time. You're like, you have to wait till like next month to finish the book.
Oh, wow. That hasn't happened to me.
Yes, you have to download it. Download it in your device. Otherwise, it doesn't. If you're not downloading a device, it can stop you from listening to it.
Wow.
So that's
good to know.
And there's no rhyme or reason why things stop working and how many books can you read and how many books can you listen to. But if you listen to 2 or 3 books, you make the money back.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's not the all out of a state. Like, read and learn, like, you can listen to. It's not like that. It's like, it's maybe like you can listen to 2 or 3 books or 5 to 10 books, depending on the revenue goal of a month. But you can get money back. They can justify if you're not listening.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, so far I've kept it all this time because I am usually doing maybe 3 books a month from it. So in their audiobooks. So if you think about it that way, $11 for 3 audiobooks, that's excellent, So I think, as long as you're going into with the library mindset, in my opinion, that's the key.
Yeah. And not all books are available, but you'll find Collins books available, Macmillan books available. You won't find when we're running past the ebooks and the stuff, but you'll find the other endpoints. So Everand will be available, most of the Everand books. Simon Schuster is also available.
There's also some indies.
And there's a lot of indies that you'll find. And
I've been listening to some indies on there. I'm
you'll
like,
find
oh, good.
indies that are not audiobooks, but then you'll find Amazon reader listen indies on available on Scribd and Everand. Like,
Yeah.
I think once you might find available, you might find some stuff like, some like popular titles. And you see me like on Kindle Unlimited. You may not have Kindle Unlimited, but you might be able to listen to them on.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the deal they have with Amazon, but they've had some stuff. So
Yeah. I haven't figured out how any of that works, but I'm like, listen, it works for me.
So let's talk about how do you find recommendations, because the user interface is not as user friendly.
No.
And so you kind of have to dig into a needle and haystack. So I'll preface, I'm someone who loves scrolling through Libby. Like I scroll through Libby while listening to an audiobook at night, and I just like scroll and look at colors and see. And I cannot do that in Everand. Like I can't pick something and just scroll and save books. I make listables in my linear text for everything. Like I'm like, okay, where do I fill it on? But unfortunately, I can't. So I want to know, what are your tips and tricks to finding books available on Everand?
I mean, as far as finding available, a lot of what I do is just when I know that I want to read something or I see it online, I have like my system. I'll first search on Hoopla if it's available, or if it's on Kindle Unlimited, like I'll go through those steps. And then my last step to check is on Everand, Scribd, or whatever. And I'll immediately add it to my saved books. So that way I always have a good running list to look there. Whenever there's something that I'm like, oh, that might be interesting, I'll add it so that I have that saved. As far as browsing, like you said, it's not very user-friendly. I have found recommendations from like the section where it kind of like learns what you're listening to or what you're reading, and it gives you recommendations. And based on that I actually find that it's quite good at throwing out ideas for me, and I have saved books from that list. So as you use it more, it's going to recommend things that may be of interest. But as far as browsing, like just the general list of stuff, I do not recommend. I would say bring your title from outside and search for it there if it's available.
Yes, I love browsing. I love the online shopping. Shopping. It's like, you just like my version of like, and a lot of readers go to an independent bookstore and they go, oh, Barnes and Noble, and they go, I do NetGalley, I do Libby, I do Hoopla. I know what the latest on Hoopla is. I should actually do like an episode of what the newest are, because I know it's like,
I would listen to that because I struggle.
It's a struggle, but I'm like, oh, I'm just so quick, and I do that. And so I love scrolling through like nails of like books and just like finding the gems and the nails that. And so I'm frustrated. I think that's one of the reasons I'm like, well, I can't go book shopping here.
Yeah, no. It's not a book shopping platform at all.
No. So it is sort of like, I've been trying on listening speed. What are some of the listening speeds available for Everand?
So, okay, let me open that up. But I will say this. Even though I will tell you that it goes up to a certain number, most audiobooks, when you listen them past 2 or 2 point, let me see what's the last one that I listened. It gets like really choppy. Yeah. So you cannot go as fast as even it will to tell you that you can. And hold on, let's say beats. Okay, so I have mine set for 2, and I am not a 2-speed person. But after 2, it gets really choppy, so you'll be missing some words. Technically, it says that you can go up to a 3. Yeah. I don't think that works for most audiobooks on there.
Because I listen to 2.1, 2.30, and speed. It doesn't like, it jumps from 2 to 2.5. So you're like,
right, exactly.
And I'm like, but I want a little bit more, but not too much.
Not too much. Yeah.
So, and then this is like an honest review of the service. You take what you like. If you like it, join it. If you don't worry about it, there are other services available. But it's a 2 point, like, and this is an ideal 2 point speed reading.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not because like you're not going to understand the words because of the speed. It's just the playback is just really, it cuts. And I have that problem also. I mean, obviously, as a reviewer with the audio player from NetGalley, it does the same thing. You can't go past 2 because it gets like really choppy and you're like literally missing a word or 3 words and then you don't know what the hell is happening. So I would say is my least favorite player, on par with the McGalley player.
Okay.
But it's fine.
All right, and for listeners who might not be able, would not know what Scribd is, a research for reviewers, publishers, independently authors, and
Mhm.
so for in the book publishing, put together their books earlier than they were available for pre-sale for reviewers to pick out book free to read a review and share about this. So it's a system. It's free if you review books on Goodreads, you can apply and you can get request books and get stuff. So that's what NetValley is. We don't talk a lot about it, but that's where we get access to early copies. But they do offer also audiobooks, and that's it's the same thing. I don't listen to audiobooks on NetValley because I don't like that.
Yes.
I'm like, I just rather wait till I get it from the library.
That's the same thing with Scribd Everand. If I can get it from Hoopla or anywhere else, that would be my preference. But if it's not available on anything else, it's still fine. It's very clear at 2x speed. So I know it's going to take me a little bit longer, but as far as quality, I've never had an issue with quality.
All right, let's talk about reading ebooks and whatnot. So, one thing to note, you cannot read ebooks on your Kindle Paperwhite.
No,
it does not work. It can work on your tablet. So, by tablet, I mean iPad, Fire, Samsung tablets, any type of tablet. Your phone can work, so you can read on your phone. But the ink itself, you cannot read it, at least in the Kindle Paperwhite. You might be able to read on books and like any other Android player thing. But I don't think like Kobo or Kindle does not work.
Right. Basically, I think the key, because I just recently wanted to read an ebook on it, and I went through this whole deep dive of research. Basically, you can only read it on any device where you can download the Scribd app.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place that you're going to be able to access that ebook. So as long as your tablet or e-reader, you can download apps from the App Store, then you can download that app, log into your Scribd account, and pull up the ebook. That's it. So I see that as a downside. I would rather read on my Kindle, or I read on my Kindle app on my phone, which totally works if you're using the phone to read, not on the Kindle app, but on the Scribd app. However, when I was talking about the text-to-speech, the text-to-speech will work, but it does not scroll to the next page alone. So if you're doing text-to-speech, it will read you the one page and then it stops. And then you have to manually go and like swipe. Horrible experience. Do not recommend.
Not recommend. But it's totally fine for you're just reading the book if you want to.
Yeah. If you're doing what normal people do when they read ebooks, you're fine.
So that's it. So other services, I mean, Scribd is mainly, I would say, audiobooks is the main reason why we looked at it.
Absolutely.
Finding some ebooks every so often. If you cannot find them, please do not miss the documents. They're horrible.
No.
Not a good thing. It's not a good book. And that's the one thing I downside is that they allow you to upload documents and people upload.
I don't understand why they do that. I mean, I try to avoid even looking at it.
I don't know why they don't have any tool with Amazon. Like, all this stuff is like, Amazon issues. Yes. These are our prayer books. There's ways to get books for free or low cost. If you need suggestions on how to save money on Kindle Unlimited, I'll means guide of how to buy a subscription to be in the US, or ways to get a book free. There's an episode about that. You can get free trial, get cancel, and then come back to it. Same goes with Audible. Like, you can get things for cheap. You don't need to pay Jeff Bezos all your money. You can get non-wrestling library cards for a low cost. That actually, it's the cost of I would say there's $24 library cards to $50 to also $9 depending on your needs. If you need special library cards, come to my Substack, do reviews of all the different paid library cards, and I'll tell you which ones you have to pay. Ways that you don't need to print your books. You can get books for free or low cost.
I agree. Fully agree. And there's also podcasts.
Yeah.
You can also listen to podcasts on there.
Yes, you can. So, any final thoughts about Scribd Everand that we should know about?
I would say that I think it's still a great service to have, especially if you listen to audiobooks. I have found a ton of stuff. I think it'll keep you busy, especially if you don't want to spend a ton of money. You will be able to find a nice variety of published books and indie books. I think more so than with other services. Whereas with something like Kindle Unlimited, you're getting a lot of indie books, maybe a little bit less traditionally published books. So I think it's got a good mix and with some limitations, which is why I compare it to the library. I think that it will still give you a nice, solid reading month, maybe a mix of ebooks and audiobooks. So it's a really good investment when you don't have a ton of budget for books. So I definitely recommend it. I think, yes, there are other ways for you to have a better app or better anything, but you're going to pay more. So I think for the cost, this is a great service to have or to look at, or maybe just to include it in your overall book spending. Maybe Kindle Unlimited and Scribd.
Well, if you're an audiobook listener, you have Scribd, and then you have no one, and then it's enough.
You're good.
No need to buy a Kindle. You can get some of those expensive books from Scribd.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Francesca, so else we can find you online and how do we sign up to the community?
So you can find me always on the blog at underthecoversbookblog.com. On social media, it's UTC Book Blog and Under the Covers Book Blog on YouTube and Facebook. You can always sign up for the community at underthecoverscommunity.com. And just come and hang out. We will be doing lots of kind of videos coming soon. Still haven't gone fully back on YouTube, but that's coming. And also our podcast, Reading Under the Covers.
Welcome. Thank you, Francesca, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of the What to Read Next podcast. If you enjoy our bookish conversations and want more recommendations, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, head on over to the What to Read Next blog for a list of books mentioned in today's show. Happy reading!